Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're counting down our picks for the most challenging bosses to stem from Elden Ring's acclaimed DLC. Spoilers ahead, Tarnished.
Scale the jagged peak, face Bayle the Dread, and when you do, summon me.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Divine Beast Dancing Lion. For many, this was the first true demonstration of the DLC's difficulty spike, not to mention the second most publicized boss to entice players back into the lands between. Needless to say, this constructed beast delivered. Aside from having wild strikes that are tricky to read, the Dancing Lion can spew out wind, ice, and lightning on a dime, some of which are easier to avoid than others. But if that's not enough for you, there is a second one roaming the realm of shadow that breathes out death blight. Have fun. Ancient Dragon Senisax. We've slaughtered every kind of dragon this game has to offer hundreds of times over, and yet this particular one, for some reason, had us against the rails. Maybe it's the tighter arena, maybe it's the water expanding the range of its Crimson Lightning, or maybe it's just built different on account of being Bayle's roommate. Either way, Senisax gave us way more trouble than the likes of his Ghost Flame or Jagged Peak kin, at least until we poured all our smithing stones into the Dragon Hunter Katana. Putrescent Knight. Did someone say Orphan of Kos on a horse? Because we've got Orphan of Kos on a horse. Guarding the likes of Saint Trina, this skeletal knight's wide array of sweeps and strikes with its giant blade demand instant reaction time unless you want to get mauled. That steed of his doesn't help either. If it's not ferrying the knight around the arena, it's acting as a follow-up attack. Oh, and it can summon immensely powerful flames that cause frostbite buildup. It certainly makes for one hell of a bodyguard. Metyr, Mother of Fingers. So apparently the two fingers have a mother, and she's just as horrifying to behold as you'd expect. A cosmic monstrosity, Metyr can make for a lethal challenge if you allow her room to breathe. Not only can she birth finger creepers on the spot, but she's well adept at unleashing blasts from beyond and summoning vortexes to swallow you whole. And when that fails, she'll charge over and try to squash you. We'll certainly be seeing her and her brood in our nightmares. Bayle the Dread. The climb up Jagged Peak, the backstory on how this thing nearly killed Dragonlord Placidusax back in the day, the hype couldn't be higher. And then Bayle revealed itself and demonstrated why it earned the name of Dread. This dragon is a powerhouse. The span of its physical attacks is wide in scope, while its breathing can drench the battlefield in lightning, and that's not to say nothing of its onslaught of a second phase. For the full experience, best summon Egon, if only for that now legendary line delivery. Commander Gaius. Whether you consider him cheap or not, this armored hog rider broke plenty of Tarnished along the way. Its mount eclipses Torrent in speed, its gravity magic hits hard, and most importantly of all, trying to avoid those charging attacks seems to vary with every attempt. Without his pet pig, Gaius would pose little challenge, but thanks to his mount's excessive attacks and enigmatic hitbox, he became a hurdle to overcome. Hope the Shadow Tree fragments were worth it. Midra, Lord of Frenzied Flame.
The depths of your foolish...
The Abyssal Woods and the mansion nestled inside of it made for some of the creepiest locations in Soul's history, and lurking at its heart is a poor old man with a hellish secret. We all remember the Lord of the Frenzied Flame, right? The chaotic god that the Tarnished could serve as a vessel for if they went down the evil route. Well, now we get to fight him, and as expected, the Lord doth pack a mean punch. If his attacks aren't causing madness buildup, then they're incinerating your health bar. Rana, Twin Moon Knight. Turns out Rennala has a younger sister, and she is twice as deadly as her royal sibling. Rana very quickly became an early symbol for just how intense the bosses in the DLC could become, what with her fluid yet fantastic sword slashes, absurd combos, combined with some brutal long-range techniques. And that's all before she channels her inner Pontiff Sullivan and starts to unleash both moon and fire magic simultaneously. Throw in her Twin Moon spell, which can easily shred off a full health bar, and you've got yourself the deadliest princess Elden Ring has ever known. Mesmer the Impaler.
In the embrace of Mesmer's flame.
There was no doubt that Marika's wayward firestarter of a son was going to be difficult. He's the poster boy for crying out loud. We just didn't anticipate he would be this difficult. In his first phase alone, he's got an insta-kill grab that will have you impaled and paraded for all to see. Even if you avoid it, the speed and range of his spear thrusts can prove to be devastating. Overcome that, and he lets the snake out of the bag. As Base Serpent Mesmer, not only will you have to contend with his spear and flames, but also a legion of giant snakes he can summon on a whim. Promised Consort Radahn. Malenia who? In contention for the hardest boss ever conjured up by From Software, the final boss of Shadow of the Erdtree will make you question if you were ever good at the genre to begin with. We barely have a moment to take in the revelation that Radahn has been brought back from the dead before he demonstrates his newfound strength by smiting us on the spot. His first phase is essentially his original moveset on steroids, hitting twice as hard and twice as fast. And then Miquella shows up to aid in the fight, leading to a second phase that is guaranteed to break you.
Then yield the path forward to us. To I, Miquella.
Holy magic explosions, lightning-fast sword swings, Miquella's heart-stealing insta-kill, Radahn's famous Metyr attack, it never ends. Consider yourself a true Elden Lord if you've somehow managed to vanquish them. Which of these DLC bosses proved to be your undoing? Let us know in the comments.
Bayle the Dread! You shall haunt me no longer!
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.